we are in studio with none other than Mr. Robert Bayigamba. Bayigamba is the chairman of the Rwanda Association of Manufacturers. Welcome to the program, Mr. Bayigamba.
Thank you for the invitation.
All right, so going straight to the topic of discussion today, or the business of the day, you are now the chairman of an association that around 1994 or after 1994, the activities of these association plunged, or rather went down. What new thing or what fresh breath of life are you going to breathe in this association?
Rwanda is at a very interesting juncture in its development, and manufacturer has to come out if we want to bring 20% of GDP in the 5 coming years. We need to be more innovative, more competitive. We need to brand our products as made in Rwanda, and it has to be done by, first of all, ourselves as manufacturers. And we decided to revamp our own association to put our strength together and work on our basic issues to get to the point where really our product can be, should be competitive in outside this region.
Okay, so you talk about innovation, you talk about competitiveness. These are some of the key pillars that this new association is going to be looking at.
Absolutely.
But then what are the real problems affecting the manufacturers in Rwanda?
There are common problems we have mentioned many times, years after year. We have the cost of doing business. In general, when we say cost of doing business, we have the infrastructure. We all know that electricity is still high. We have the transport costs. We have the cost of transaction, the access to finance, which is relatively high when you compare not only in the region but also in the world, because the competition is becoming, the world is becoming one village. If someone gets a 3% alone to manufacture something wherever he is, and then we access to it around 15, 16, 17%, we have a serious issue of competition. So that's basically, and then of course we need also to say that we still have a big gap in terms of human capacity, and the rest are common. There are many other issues we can say, but it is what we think, and from the General Assembly we held 2 weeks ago, we agreed to work on the main, what should we bring to the table in terms of using efficiently the current electricity, the current energy. How can we discuss with government institutions related to how probably to have a more attractive tariff, if it's possible. So how do we work on non-tariff barriers and in the transport costs, and then of course when I say innovation, how do we try to have more sophisticated product, more high-end product, where the costs of those infrastructure are relatively lower. When you look at the ratio.
But then you talk about the issue of cost of doing business. It is a big problem. Even from some people we've talked to from different manufacturing companies, they have actually mentioned this as one of the hindrance to doing business here in Rwanda. So when you talk of you are discussing with the key players involved here to see how these costs can be reduced, Bayigamba, where have we reached with these discussions?
I think that when we look behind, let's talk about first of all energy. There has been a lot of progress. First of all, there have been particular tariffs. I remember EWASA at a given time decided to have like a particular tariff at night to push our manufacturers to produce during the night at a very attractive tariff. That's for example one feature.
Let's talk about the issue of advocacy, which this association seeks to do. because sometimes different manufacturers have not been able to have some of their issues addressed because they feel if they go to the government as individuals, then it's hard for their voices to be heard. But with this association, probably they believe that now there is a platform where they can address some of their issues. So what kind of confidence do you send out there to these people that yes, your issues are going to be addressed, we are going to play the advocacy role? How are you going to do this?
Well, first of all, what I would like to announce to our different stakeholders, starting by our members, is that the new committee is composed with experienced people. Been doing that when I was PSF more than 10 years, 7 as chair. I've been the vice chair of the PSF, so I have the experience. We have the first vice chair who is the CEO of Brahirwa. We have really prominent members of the manufacturing sector.
Because why am I asking this? Some people who we talked to were saying that the private sector should be private. What message were they sending here? Some of them were trying to mean that even those leaders or even this association itself seems to be in bed already with the government, and so we don't really expect them to speak or to be tough on our behalf when they sit down with the government. How can you answer such kind of criticism?
Well, I don't know what I understand. Sometimes they point of view, what they want probably everything to be done in one day.
Yes.
But I can tell you that all of us are private sector. We have been elected among peers. The minimum is to trust us because we are there also for our own interests. It's not we are not working it for the government.
In other words, what you're trying to say finally, because I'm being told we don't have enough time for this, what you're trying to say is that all they need to do is just trust you.
They trust and they will see. We are going to bring them on board. We have already asked them what are the priorities. We have agreed to tackle on the 3-4 key priorities coming from the General Assembly. And why we did that is because we believe that we are doing that for our members. It's not for government, it's for us.
Thank you, Mr. Bayigamba. We think we'll end it at this point. But of course, this kind of discussion will continue to go on, even off air or on air.
No, thank you for your invitation.
All right, thank you very much. That was Mr. Robert Bayigamba, the chairman of the Rwanda Association of Manufacturers, calling on the members to trust him and his team. But of course, they will play the advocacy role and speak as one voice on behalf of the manufacturers. We now take a short break, and when we come back,